Hello, guys. Welcome back to Moments with Mel and Happy New Year to everyone. So, today we're going to talk about say less and hold your mystery. Now, what really prompted me to make this voiceover for you guys is that I kind of had an issue in the past where I would feel the need to overshare, over-explain. I don't know, I went through life around that time with a super innocent soul, and I thought, okay, if I share this with someone or if I talk to someone about this, they're not gonna do any harm. They're not gonna, use it against me. They're not going to, this isn't gonna be taken in the wrong way, this is gonna be fine. But then as I got older, I realized that yes, everything that you say can and will be used against you at some point. And you have to be careful what you're saying and who you're saying it to ensure you're being extremely cautious. So say less and hold your mystery. So first off, you learn more about people when you let them talk and you listen. And this is something that I tell women a lot, especially women if you're dating. Let the guy have the floor when you're out and about with him. Let him talk. Let him tell you all about himself, everything that he likes. Please don't feel the need to go in there and start, sharing your entire life's story, because you really don't have to do that. Please go in there with the intention of, okay, I want to learn about this person. I want to feel the vibes. I want to feel the energy. So let me just listen. Everything, like I've told you guys before, is energy, right? Everything is energy. You can pick up on someone's energy by listening to them speak, by the tone of their voice, and hearing what they say. So you learn more about people when you let them talk and you listen. There was a time I went out with a group of friends, and my friend, who was my direct friend, she invited a friend of hers. And that friend of hers was oh, hey, nice to meet you. My name's so-and-so. And she just starts talking about many different things, right? And she mentioned, she's oh my God, we all went out the other day. It was such a crazy night. One of my close friends stopped talking to me because we all went out that night, and I ended up kissing and making out with her crush that night. But it really wasn't a big deal to me, but she's still so angry about it. I tried to apologize to her, and this girl literally kept going on and on and on. And I was just sitting there nodding, smiling, and listening. And in my head, I'm wow, literally in the last 15 minutes, she's already told me basically everything I need to know about, her integrity levels. This is definitely not a girl I see myself being friends with. I don't care how drunk I would be. I would never hook up or get with any guy that I know that my friend was with. And using being drunk as an excuse, you can be drunk as ever, you're not going to go and have sex with your dad, okay, or have sex with your mom. So to some extent, we all know what we're doing when we're drunk to some extent, right? So on that short conversation, the fact that she shared so much with me in such a little period of time, I was able to learn about her right then and there. So learn the art, you guys, of letting people talk and you just listening, so you can learn everything it is that you need to learn about them. Moving on. Saying less and holding your mystery also means that you never have to regret oversharing. Have you guys ever had a situation where you're man, I probably shouldn't have said that, or I probably shouldn't have told my date about that, or I probably shouldn't have told this girl about this other girl, or told this coworker? When you say less and you hold your mystery and you don't overshare, you don't ever have to feel those feelings. You don't ever have to feel the feeling of, did I say too much? Did I divulge too much? Does this person now know too much about me? Or does this person now know sensitive info about me. Like, you never have to think those thoughts when you're not oversharing. So you don't have any regrets, right? And the next thing is, people value what you have to say when you speak because you don't speak often. When you hold your mystery and you learn to not speak so much and you learn how to say less and be mysterious, when you do speak, everyone's ears grow like 10 times their regular size just to hear what you have to say, because that means that your words have value. You know, you don't speak often. So people are curious about what you have to say. They're curious about your opinion. They're curious about how you feel or your opinion on a certain subject. So please, people will value you more when you're not a blabbermouth, right? So the next thing is, it definitely creates an air of mystery around you. Do you guys remember, think back to when you were in high school or middle school or college or even work, that person that barely ever says anything and they're just like muted all the time and they just don't talk and they don't say anything. Think about that person. Now, when you think about that person, what are you thinking? I'm sure you're thinking, I wish I knew more about them. I wish I knew where they hang out. Do they have any friends? Who are they dating? What do they do for work? Like, you kind of start, like, your mind starts to like run a mile a minute when you think about that person, because you really don't know anything about them. So saying less and holding your mystery definitely creates a larger air of mystery around you. And you can even create a bigger air of mystery around you when you also share less on social media. Now, if you guys want to know how to be low-key on social media, I have so many different videos on that. But saying less and holding your mystery also applies to social media. Like, I always talk about this, like on my social media, I don't really post. I don't tag the people that I'm with. I don't tag friends that I'm with. I don't tag family that I'm with. I don't tag the guy that I'm with. I try to keep it as discreet as possible, and I try to keep it as mysterious, not on purpose, but because that's just who I am as a person. I've learned in life that as I've gotten older, it's just so much better for me to just say less and hold my mystery. It's so much better, and it creates this mystery and this, this thing of like, like I want to know more about this person. And it just feels better for you as a person as well. So yes, this also applies to social media. Also, you don't have to worry about like evil eyes or anything like that, because no one knows what you're up to when you say less and you hold your mystery. I'll never forget, I slipped up a couple of weeks ago. And again, you guys, this is a daily training that you're daily training your body to do. But then eventually your body is going to get to the point where, like you understand and it becomes second nature. But if this is something new for you and, you're used to oversharing, this will help you. And so I slipped up the other week. I was talking to this guy. This guy, I don't know, I guess he was into me, not very into him. There were a couple of red flags that I saw very early on that I really wasn't interested in learning more about. But basically, this guy was trying really hard to dig out info on me. Not personal info, but like, he's like, oh, well, if you're with a guy, if you're in a relationship with a guy, how much money does he need to make? Or what type of background do you have? And he's like, well, how much money do you make a year? And this guy kept like digging and digging and digging. And the first red flag for me was when he asked me for my salary. He told me, how much do you make a year? And I kept switching the subject to another subject. And he's like, he said, you're doing what a lot of women do. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you're not answering the question that I'm asking you. And that was kind of like the first red flag for me. I'm like, okay, he's obviously a narcissist, because you're not my boss. I don't owe you explanations about anything. And you're not my father. So I don't, So I literally responded to him very politely. I said, well, I think that you have a problem picking up on social cues. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, if you keep asking someone a question and they're switching it, that means they don't want to answer it. That's a social cue that you should like be able to pick up on. And he's like, oh, well, I mean, I don't think that was a very difficult question. And I told him, why would you ask a woman about her salary? Like, I told him, I'm not too sure about your culture, but in my culture, you don't discuss your financials with people. That's just not courteous. It's not elegant. And it's very bad etiquette to be discussing money. And I told him, I don't share my salary with you or with anybody, or my career or what I do or anything like that. And then I immediately drew that line in the sand, and I really drew that boundary in the sand. And from then he kind of backed off a little bit. So like I said, he almost caught me, and then he did end up catching me, because he started asking me questions about guys and what type of guys that I like. And I kept trying to like diffuse the questions. And then he's like, oh, well, if you're looking for this certain type of guy, then this is going to happen. If you're looking for that type of guy, this is going to happen. If you want this type of lifestyle, you have to do this, or it's not going to happen, or this is rare. And this guy kept going on and on and on. And in my head, I'm like, this is why I don't. In my head, I was like, this is exactly why I don't talk to people, because this is what they do. Like, they immediately jump on the negative Nancy bandwagon. I don't care if someone came up to me today and said, Mel, I want to be an astronaut and I'm going to create a brand new machine to go to the moon. I'm going to say, girl, do whatever makes you happy. Because honestly, in reality, I really don't care. I'm already hyper-focused on my own life, so it serves me no benefit to go around throwing negativity on other people's desires, because I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking about myself. So that's like what I said, is you don't have to worry about evil eyes or anything like that when you say less and hold your mystery, because people are always going to try to throw their negativity or their pessimism on whatever it is that you're trying to do. So you can go ahead and avoid all of that by not bringing up certain things, and also by not posting certain things. And you can always see the intention behind what people say when you say less and listen more. Because like I said before, people are total blabbermouths. So if you just let them talk, eventually they'll end up telling on themselves. My grandma always taught me, if you let people talk, they will tell on themselves. They will automatically tell on themselves. All you have to do is listen to the words coming out of their mouth very closely and listen to what they're saying, and they will tell on themselves. So that's why I said you can see the intention behind what people say when you learn yourself to say less and hold your mystery. And believe it or not, people will actually like you so much more when you say less and hold your mystery, because people like people who are good listeners. People like people that they feel like they can easily talk to. And in reality, when you say less and listen more, and the person's going on and on and on and on about God knows what, 9 times out of 10, we're not even listening. We're just nodding and smiling, and we're thinking about what we're going to have for dinner. Like half the time we're just acting like we're listening. We're really not. And you guys may be thinking, oh my God, but Mel, that sounds so rude. No, it just means that you are protecting your energy from energy vampires, and you're not absorbing what that person is bringing to your table. So that's kind of a shield of hearing them, but not actually listening to them. That's the key to it. So people will actually like you because you're a great listener, and you get to be in your head more, thinking about the important things you need to get done. You're just nodding and letting them talk. Like whenever I'm in a situation where someone is like over talking and going on and on, I'll listen just enough to catch certain things that they say, so I know the type of person that they are. But I'm really just in my head, you guys. Like, I'm so in my head. I'm thinking about what am I going to have for dinner? What workout am I going to do tomorrow? I have that paper that I need to turn in. I have a YouTube video that I have to shoot. What are some new things I can come up with for my subscribers? Like, that's literally what I'm thinking about when I'm having when people are just blabbering off to me. I'm not even listening half the time. I'm only listening in if it's something crucial, or if they're about to say something that speaks to their character. And then also, there's no reason to be in drama because you don't say much. I've seen so many girls and guys end up falling into drama because they slipped up and commented on something very innocently though. But that one comment was, twisted and turned the person took what that person said and twisted it. So what's the number one way to not have someone take what you say and twist it? You don't say anything. That way you don't have to be like, oh, well, I didn't say it like that, or oh, well, I didn't mean it like that, or oh, well, you twisted my words, or you don't have to do that. You can literally just be like, I didn't say anything, so I don't know anything about that situation. And that's one of the big parts of saying less and holding your mystery, you guys. Try your best to not comment on stuff that doesn't have anything to do with you. It's really not affecting your life, your money, your health, your wealth, prosperity, your health, your life, your kids. Like, if it's not affecting any of those things, we just really don't care about it. So you're not going to be in any drama because you're letting them talk and you're just listening. And if they start saying something like very terrible about someone else, or they start saying something that's untrue or whatever, just be like, oh my God, girl, I got to go really fast. I got to go. Or be like, oh my God, I have somebody on the line. Like, try to disengage. And then people will eventually just want to know more about you. And people will also respect you, you guys, when you're saying less and you're holding your mystery, because that shows people that you're careful. That shows people that you're cautious. So I really hope this voiceover helps you guys. And please comment on some other ways that you say less and hold your mystery.